Welcome back to Inside South Florida. There are now more Americans aged 65 or older living in the U.S. than at any other time in history, with many of them living right here in South Florida. Here is Raul with United HomeCare to talk about some living options for the local elderly population. Raul, good to see you. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, we have a lot to cover. Important stuff, interesting stuff. Let's start with the basics. United HomeCare, tell us about it.
Okay. United HomeCare is a private, not-for-profit organization located in Miami-Dade County. We've been in business now for 41 years, and we are probably, if not the largest, one of the largest home health care agencies in South Florida. We have about 850 employees. About 650 of those are home health care workers that are out in the community. We see approximately 5,000 patients, and usually that involves over 20,000 hours of work with those patients every week.
And much of what you do, as you just mentioned, is home health care, but
Correct.
There's a new exciting development to talk about as well, right?
Yeah, we, most of our work historically has been taking care of people at home. But one of the challenges that we looked at is the fact that, quite frankly, there comes a point in time when you can no longer take care of an elderly individual at home because they've either gotten too frail, their needs have changed, and they need to go for a higher level of care. And so what we did a couple years ago is we decided to get into the business of what they call assisted living facilities. We hate that word facility. It sounds so institutional.
Right.
It's really nothing more than just a senior living community that helps individuals that need a little bit more than what they can get, quite frankly, at home. These are individuals that are still ambulatory. They can basically get in and out of bed, if you will, but they can have a walker, they can be in a wheelchair, not a problem, but we take care of them, and this is a brand new facility that we're getting ready to open. We spent about $16 million of our own money on it, and it is spectacular. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks like a museum of modern art inside. And really quite nice.
And it's not a nursing home.
It is not a nursing home. I want to make that distinction because nursing home really is a higher level of care. When somebody goes into a nursing home, it is basically because they're at that stage where they're really bedbound all the time. This is not a nursing home. This is a senior living facility.
And then with regards to the seniors that live there, are there activities for them to do all day? Is there a social aspect of it? Yeah.
Look, this is a community like any other community. So what we intend to do there is have a variety of different things for them to do. People think of these things as, well, we're going to play bingo all day long. Well, they're not necessarily going to play bingo.
I like bingo. I want to play.
Nothing wrong with bingo,
right.
Okay? But, give you an example. First of all, the place really is almost like a hotel. When you're hungry, you go to the dining room. There are no set hours for when you go to dine. It's a restaurant-style, dining experience. You go, you get a menu, you pick what it is you want to eat. The server takes your order on basically a tablet, shoots it back to the kitchen, and eventually the food gets delivered to you, and you get to eat, a wonderful meal. We're going to have an outdoor garden that'll basically have, vegetables that we're going to be growing there, flowers. We have an activities room. We have a library with Wi-Fi throughout the entire building, but also, computer workstations in the library. We'll have a beauty salon. This is a place where basically you live, and if your children want to come and pick you up and take you away for the weekend, that's fine. And they can take you away, and you can go to the beauty salon and get ready for it.
One more question about that, and there's some other things I want to ask you. This is opening soon.
Yes.
And hopefully the first of many across South Florida, right?
Absolutely. We're projecting hopefully to open no later than October the 1st. We've got our certificate of occupancy. We're just waiting on some final regulatory licenses that we require. But the building is complete. It's ready to go. We actually have some residents that are starting to bring their furnishings in already. We're looking forward to having, hopefully, 150 people there in the not too distant future.
It's like a college dorm. People are moving in all over town. And
Exactly.
It's called the Residences. It's in West Kendall.
It's in West Kendall. For those of you that are familiar with Miami-Dade County, our sort of 800, 900-pound gorilla in terms of healthcare is Baptist Health System. They're a huge network in Miami-Dade County. And they've actually built a hospital, West Kendall Baptist Hospital, and we are literally right up the street from them.
Okay.
And the benefit to that is obviously, if you've got, your mom or dad staying with us, You have the comfort of knowing that there is a major hospital literally right down the street. We're also on the same electrical grid as the hospital, so when we have a hurricane down here and the lights go out, we're going to be a priority facility to come back right away. But even still, we have a backup generator, natural gas generator, that can power the entire facility pretty much indefinitely because we're tied into the natural gas lines for that area.
Well, sounds great. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
I want to ask you the psychological component of having the conversation with your parents or your sister or brother or your spouse. I mean, it's a really hard conversation to have. The conversation, of course, being maybe it's time that you need some more care. Maybe you need to move out of your house. Any advice on how to have that conversation?
Listen, I think probably the best advice I could give you is the sooner you start, the easier it is. I mean, you want to get, aging is not something that stops, right? I mean, it's going to continue to progress.
You hope so, because the alternative is worse.
Absolutely.
Right.
And if you've got a family member who's frail, who's getting up there, it's really better to sort of begin as soon as you can. It doesn't necessarily entail that you're going to have to put this person in a nursing home or in an assisted living facility. But there's lots of options. I mean, including our own sort of home healthcare options. And I think and I'm quite frankly going through this right now because I'm the youngest in my family. My siblings are much older than I am, and I have a sister who's pushing 80. And we're having that conversation, and it's very difficult. But it's important to get as many family members as you can involved in that conversation. If it's mom or dad, they obviously need to be part of that conversation as well.
Because they're probably not going to want to go.
They're probably not going to want to go, but look, one of the things that's great about this new environment that we're in, especially with the technology that we have, and I've had this conversation with a number of friends of mine, listen, it's not necessarily time for them to go someplace. I mean, you have the option of hiring an outfit like ours or similar organizations to come in and help with the care of mom and dad, to stay overnight, to look after them so that they can be at home for as long as possible. There's modern technology now. I mean, I don't need to tell you the digital cameras where you can sort of keep an eye on mom or dad while you're off to the supermarket.
Teach mom and dad Skype.
Absolutely.
They probably already know it.
There's bracelets that you can keep track of them to make sure they don't wander off. There's all sorts of wonderful technology that's coming into the marketplace now that really allows people to stay at home as long as possible, and that really is the best solution for everybody.
All right, so we'll leave it at that. But I'm sure our viewers are going to have questions for you.
Sure.
What is the best way for them to find you and your organization?
Well, the organization is called United HomeCare. Our website is www.unitedhomecare.com. If they want to take a look, sneak peek at the assisted living residence, it's called The Residences, plural, and that website is www.tourtheresidences.com. And you can go there and you can actually see a short little video and see what it looks like.
Cool. All right, Raul, good to see you, and come on back anytime you want.
Thank you, sir.
You got it.